Hello and welcome to another episode of Put Me in Coach podcast on episode 29. We're very close enough getting the 30% of half of the season of baseball and stuff of the game 2 of the Brewers versus Diamondbacks today. The lineup of today, we got Perdomo back to shortstop of the injured from Mexico City and stuff. So it's good to see him back and stuff. And even on top of the lineup list as well and stuff. Adrian Del Casio is playing catcher. Jose Fernandez playing DH, and the rest is similar. And also, I'm trying to figure things out a little bit and stuff. Nolan Arenado and Jose Fernandez been switching up a little bit here and there and stuff. Same thing with Vargas and Guerrero Jr. as well. So they kind of not in the same position. Not the same like right on the line of where they're at in the lineup, so it kind of switches around for Ravello in the each game and so what he wants to do and stuff. So I'm not saying enough of obviously this is the same people, but the lineup is always going to be changing differently and stuff. Because Lourdes Guerrero Jr. is mostly going to play left field, and same thing with Nolan Arenado playing third base and Jose Fernandez playing DH and stuff. But all of them kind of, go back and forth, up and down on the list from on the lineup every game and stuff. So that's what I thought that was very interesting because what I've realized enough, Nolan Arenado was actually hitting in the eighth lineup yesterday game, and Jose Fernandez is actually hitting in the eighth spot today. So they kind of switch yesterday and today just by one off, just a little bit. So one went down for the eighth, and one went up for the seventh, and stuff. That's just what it is, basically, and stuff. Today was a lot better of the offense. We saw a lot of offense than before and stuff, so that's a good thing and stuff. To be honest of enough, now I'm looking at if everybody got a base hit and stuff. And generally enough, Perdomo did not get a base hit, but fortunately enough, he did get on base without a base hit. He basically walked a lot, so that's why he's 0 for 2 and stuff. And then Alec Thomas just went 0 for 4. So basically everybody got on base besides of Alec Thomas, and obviously Perdomo just walked a lot. So it's a little way of enough of everybody's doing their job. So that's a positive on the offense. And then also enough, Jorge Barosa came in to pitch run for Lourdes Guerrero Jr. in the top of the eighth, and then in the bottom of the eighth, he also replaced Lourdes Guerrero Jr. at left field, but he never came at bat. But he did played in left field today, and so that's something new. Pitching wise, of enough of Eduardo Rodriguez and stuff. There's a nickname my dad and I call him and stuff. We used to call him 3-run Rodriguez. Fortunately enough, he didn't do that, so good enough. And then we kind of changed it with 0-run Rodriguez, and he also did not do that either. And stuff, but he didn't do any of them, both of them and stuff. So it's more of a positive on Rodriguez today. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, struck out 4, walked 4, and gave up 2 runs. So today he is 2-run Rodriguez, and there's no ring to it and stuff. 3 rerun run Rodriguez, 0-run Rodriguez. I don't know. It's It's what it is. We're just having fun. Um, uh, the Brewers pitcher Brenton Sprout, I think that's what you call it. Spros. It's a weird last name. He did okay. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, struck out 5, walked 2, gave up 4 runs, and stuff. He had a great start, and then I think at the end he kind of got a little tired, and then I think in the Diamondbacks offense kind of figured him out a little bit, and then fortunately the Diamondbacks got hits off of him and stuff. So that's something for the Diamondbacks, not good for the Brewers and stuff. So that is that. The bullpen for the Diamondbacks: Kevin Ginkel, Juan Morello, Taylor Clark, and Paul Seedwald came in at the 9th inning, but fortunately enough, it wasn't a save potential. But fortunately enough, he did get the last 3 outs at the end. Bullpen is doing good. I just thinking they're just being solid of enough. So I just need them to keep going, and the only runs were off is Rodriguez, and he only gave up 2. So that's pretty good overall. And we need to have the bullpen to do their job. It doesn't matter enough if the pitching is good or not or anything, but the bullpen needs to give 0 runs on the board at the end, so the Diamondbacks would get like a comeback or stay the lead and get more runs just to win some games and stuff. So that's our what do you call it, like there's a word I want to say, like a recipe in a way enough for the bullpen is like they need to give no runs, so if we're down in anything we can have a comeback for them to not taking the lead so much we can't come back, for them having less runs and give us a good opportunity to have a comeback or get some runs if we are still taking the lead, so we don't want the opponent team to come back in some ways and stuff. So there's both ways of that, but that's what we really want to see from the bullpen, and they're doing their job. Scoring wise enough, I'm actually going to say all of the scoring and stuff. There's not really a whole lot, but mostly enough they're pretty big and stuff, so that's that. Jake Bauer started off with a RBI double to make it 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Vargas did absolutely get his 25th hitting streak, and so he is one way to literally tied the hitting streak with Paul Goldschmidt as a Diamondbacks history and stuff. So that's pretty cool for him and stuff. I understand enough of the first hit when he got it and stuff. It was kind of a weak hit, but it's what it is and stuff. If you want to argue about it on the other side of the team and stuff, to be honest enough, you guys were doing the same thing yesterday, and you guys took the lead and got more runs out of it and stuff. So, gotta understand that of a terrible 6th inning we got when you guys keep hitting off Andrew Hoffman yesterday and stuff. So it's nothing of it, and also enough. Vargas got another hit, so he went for 2 for 5. So it's better than nothing what he can do and stuff. And his bat is just keep going and stuff, and that's what we want and stuff. Bryce Turing hit a RBI double to make it 2-0, bottom of the third, and basically that's the only runs Rodriguez gave up and stuff, and the rest was the Diamondbacks. Adrian Del Castillo, ADC, hit a solo home run to make it 1-2 in the top of the fourth. Nolan Arenado with a big 3 home run to make it 4-2 in top of the fourth. And then at the 9th inning, Kento Marte hit a solo home run to make it 5-2 in the top of the 9th. And then Corbin Carroll hit also another solo home run to make it 6-2, top of the ninth, off a back-to-back home run in the ninth. Our record is, the final score of the game is 6-2. Our record right now is 16-13. Am I reading that right? I gotta look this up. I don't know. I changed. Are we 16-13 or are we 15-13? We're 16-13. I did not put our record right. That's weird. Fortunately enough, we fixed it. It's what it is. All right. So progress. We just gotta keep hitting. Vargas just gotta keep hitting his hitting streak and stuff. We just gotta progress and elevate the numbers up and stuff. If we can do this, we can win games. It's no matter of that and stuff. Keep it hot. So I think that's good on the offense and stuff. We don't want to, take it easy in a way enough. We want to do what we can get and stuff. And if you tell me enough of if Nolan Arenado, doesn't have his peak time when he did with the Rockies and stuff, and you thinking he's old or anything, that doesn't matter. He's old. He can do whatever he can to make the team better because Nolan Arenado is a team player. Just letting you know on that and stuff. The guy is going to tribute at any team he's going to do with the Rockies, Cardinals, or the Diamondbacks. He's going to do the best he can every single time, and it doesn't matter what team he's on. Pitching wise, bullpen looks good. Starting, I think Rodriguez did great today and stuff. Obviously, there was a couple hits and stuff, but he got out of them. Only gave up 2 runs, and that's pretty good. This is the way enough where we can win games this ways and stuff. And fortunately enough for us, for tomorrow and stuff, we need to keep playing this way and stuff. So if we do win tomorrow, we can win the series over the Brewers and stuff. The Brewers are in last place in their division on the National Central, but they're still honestly enough a really good team and stuff. Like Bryce Tring and Jake Bauer and stuff, like William Contreras. Those guys still scares me so much because they can put a lot of contact, especially enough of game 1. They were doing a lot and stuff. So fortunately enough, we saw a negative on their side as well. So just in this game. So hopefully we can just, keep, hitting them in the right way where enough we can get some hits off of them, and hopefully we don't let them hit on us in a way to give them the lead or get them the win, because we want the win and stuff. All wins matters and stuff. So we got to go big for tomorrow so we don't lose the series. We want to win the series and stuff. The MVP today on this podcast is Nolan Arenado with that 3 home run to take the lead and stuff. Huge of enough for that and stuff. This will be his second MVP on this podcast and stuff. So looking good. Again, doesn't matter what team he's on, he's going to be the best he is going to be because it is freaking Nolan Arenado. Come on. And also, he did great on defense as well. And we want that. And stuff. There was literally a weird thing where there was a weird throw at first base, and he was trying to go for second and stuff because there's nobody at second. But fortunately enough, the third baseman, Brewers, got there and stuff and got Nolan Arenado. So, it was I thought. I'm respecting of enough of Nolan Arenado going big and stuff, but fortunately enough, you got a little caught. So he almost had it. Fortunately, the call it safe And then, fortunately enough, they challenged and got the correct call and stuff. So that's what it is and stuff. And then also the Brewers were also making other errors. So that's something about that and stuff. So yeah, just of that, and also enough of Vargas just needs to keep going and stuff. Who knows enough of it's the power of the ring and stuff, because he lost his earrings when he was trying to put his helmet on and stuff. So who knows if that's the magical of him and stuff. It's the power of the rings, man. It's something about Lord Rings, something I don't know. You put that on you, it's magical, man. Uh, so hopefully we win tomorrow and stuff. Tomorrow it's a little bit early. I don't know what time it is and stuff. Again, I gotta check and stuff. 10:40. 10:40. Okay, I'll be at work at that time tomorrow and stuff. It's okay. But I'll be at my parents' house. My parents are going to Italy with my brother and my sister-in-law and my niece as well, their kid. So they're going to Italy for like about 3 weeks and stuff. So I gotta take care the family cat for us. Meows like a girl. So I'm kind of babysitting the cat while they're gone and stuff. So I'm kind of going back and forth here and there and stuff. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna keep doing the podcast here and generally enough. But I will watch sometimes enough of the Diamondbacks at home, at my parents' home, in some ways and stuff. Depends enough of what the day and stuff. So I'm always gonna be back and forth of that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode and stuff. So hopefully you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.